just like a rose from the concrete. Valley of death, no palm trees. Yeah, how it works, that's what I speak. Trying to revive the dead like an IV. Just like a farmer, I just plant seeds. Till the harvest right and let the Lord reap. They strung us up and hung us on trees. Now we get the earth and the seven seas. Kingdom seekers heavenly, gospel what I'm peddling. When you at war, ain't no need for no pleasantries.
You go eat that pork when you went back to the house that day, bro? He said, you think I didn't? So you still, hey, was that your last plate of pork or you still be eating pork? You know he a real OG GD.
Come on, boss. My grandmother lived to be 89 years old.
You're right.
She ate what she ate.
Uh-huh.
Okay?
Did she have any type of health issues?
None.
None. She didn't have high blood pressure? No diabetes, no nothing. That you know of? Because you just saying no, but that's if you knew.
Listen, that don't even matter.
Right, yeah.
But the thing is, I'm going to do what I'm going to do.
Right. And you know what that's going to lead to, you know what I'm saying, doing what you're going to do and not doing what God say?
What's the difference?
You said what?
What's the difference?
What's the difference between you doing what you want to do and doing what God said? You think you God?
Come on.
No, I was asking because you said, what's the difference? Obviously, God has a law to govern people, and you have your own understanding in which you operate in your life. So that's the difference. So this is what I'm saying. Our ways lead us to death. The reason why we only live to 100 years old is because we decided to go against the Most High God. Right?
I'm not going against nothing God has to say.
You said what?
I'm not going against anything God has to say.
Do you believe in the Bible?
Sort of.
Okay. So this is the thing. What God do you believe in? Because he gave you the rundown the other day, and he showed you how the Bible is true, who you are, and all of these things, and why you shouldn't eat pork. Right? So what is it that's keeping you from believing in the Bible? What is it that you believing in that's making you say, I don't want to believe in this fully? Okay.
You have to let me think about that for a second.
Okay. That's fair. But it ain't no specific reason, like off top of the head? Okay. Okay. Well, I'll give you time to think about it, right? I'll give you time to think about it, right? But at the end of the day, bro, you got to understand your history, where you come from, and why we actually following this. You see what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, this Bible tells us all events since before the time of Moses, all major events that happened in the earth throughout the whole entirety of the earth. So
That's a tight coat.
That's a what?
That's a tight coat.
And guess what? He gifted it for me. So shout out to him. You see what I'm saying? He actually saved my life with this coat today. Right? For real. Right? But read that.
This is the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 8, verse 11. It says, because sentence against an evil work is not executed speedily, therefore the heart of the sons of man is fully set in them to do evil.
So we think a judgment, right, happens instantly. Our people kind of, because instant karma don't come to them, they believe that they didn't got away with something, right? So when you mention your grandma eating pork and being able to live her full life, well, she had to go through hell throughout her whole life like a typical black person, having to pay the white man's rent, taxes, you know, go to their stores and not prosper over the rest of the nations. That's what the typical black person go through in their life. Do you think that's a fulfilling life, to be subject to another people all your life?
Well, the thing about that is, you can go through some things anyway.
I understand that, but it's certain things that we don't have to go through if we decided to live a certain lifestyle according to God. We don't have to go through any death. We don't have to go through any pain. You know, there was a curse on our people, right?
It was a curse on our people through slavery.
Yes, exactly. But another curse was,
400, 500 years of slavery,
Right.
plus 200-300 years of oppression,
Right.
we gonna go through some things.
I understand what you're saying, but we didn't have to go through that slavery. The only reason why we went through that slavery is because it was predestinated by God, right? And we transgressed his laws. So he understood and knew the nature in which he created us, right? So we went into slavery due to our disobedience. So we didn't have to go into slavery if only we would have kept the commandments of God. That makes sense?
You gotta back up now.
You want me to back it up?
Okay, wait a minute.
Okay.
All these black people that went through slavery did not, they didn't, how can I say this?
You said all black people?
No, all the black people who went through slavery says that they disobeyed God.
Well, it's a nation. It's not an individualistic thing, right? It's a nation thing.
Exactly.
Okay, so if the nation sins as a nation, as a majority, then there's going to be a punishment on the nation. That makes sense? What's your precept?
The book of Baruch, chapter 3, verse 8. Behold, we are yet this day in our captivity,
He said, yet we are this day in our captivity, read.
where thou hast scattered us for a reproach and a curse, and to be subject to payments according to all the iniquities of our fathers.
So there's a cause and effect, right? If we sin, like for an example, let me give you an example, right? Let me give you an example. Let's say that somebody in the room, they contact the flu, right? And then that one person that got in trouble gave everybody else that was innocent in the room the flu. You following me? Did all those other people in the room sin in order to contract that flu? Or was it because the person came in and brought it to them? Brought it upon them?
Say it again.
Okay, let's say 4 people, they did wrong. So they ended up doing something that got them a sickness, right? And then they made 8 other people who had nothing to do with the situation get sick, right? Those 4 people brought upon their sickness on them due to their iniquities, right? But the other people still had to go through the sickness because it was brought upon them, right? So that's the same thing when you're dealing with the nation. Because these leaders and things brought upon the iniquity upon the other nation and caused the whole nation to sin, now everybody is subject to that same punishment. So nobody is exempt because we have to move as a nation of people. That makes sense?
Okay, now how do you convince these people?
How do I convince them? You talking about to come back to God? So we do so by teaching and applying the word to their life. That makes sense? So if we're teaching you, the brother broke it down to you last week, why you shouldn't eat pork. And he gave the reason and behind it. But one of the reasons behind not eating pork is because God told us to not do that, right? And us not keeping that commandment is what causing the whole nation to fall, because the majority of the nation eat pork. You see what I'm saying?
Not really on that term.
How is that not? How is that not? And every Israelite everybody that you see on this sign, they got a main dish with pork in it. Everybody that you see on this sign, they got one of their main dishes has shrimp, crab, lobster, pork, all type of things, all type of abominations. It's within each one of these people's menu.
Okay, so shrimp is out the question.
Shrimp is, he told you last week, I mean like a couple weeks ago, that shrimp should not be eaten.
That's right.
Yeah, exactly. You had like several abominations in that crock pot that day.
I am a shrimp scampi fanatic.
Exactly.
Okay.
But look though.
I ain't gonna lie to you.
Okay, but look, we was all there, but we understood the fear of the Most High. Fearing the Most High is what he was trying to teach you about the other day, right? For an example, if the stove is hot Are you going to touch that stove? Are you going to touch that stove if it's hot? Huh, bro? Yeah, he crazy. Are you going to touch the stove if it's hot?
Of course not.
Why? Because the fear of getting burnt, right?
Okay.
Right.
So this is why you should fear God.
Right.
Give me that, what's that, Isaiah? Flee from sin like you flee from a serpent? Sirach 21. Bible Kasha.
I want this picture right here.
It's online. You can Google it. Just type in white Jesus or the devil.
I want that on my wall.
You want that on your wall? All praise. Right. But check it out, though. Do you understand why you should fear the Most High? The same way you fear to burn yourself on this stove is the same way you should fear the Creator of heaven and earth.
Try this one. I'm gonna try it like this.
Hold on.
Does the Most High love me?
Yes, because
Why should I fear him?
you say what?
Why should I fear him?
Because he's going to be, it's like a parent. Like the brother broke it down there last week. It's like a parent. We basically reiterating the same thing, right? If you don't want to get a whooping for something that your dad told you not to do,
I ain't gonna do it.
exactly, out of fear of getting your ass whooped, right? And so look, the reason why you should fear him is because what he's going to do to you.
I don't fear anything.
Yes, you do. You just said you fear. So you're going to touch a hot stove.
I'm not going to touch it
Why?
because I got brain.
No, because you fear of getting burnt.
Right. I don't.
You fear.
Just don't do it.
So just burn yourself. So that's what you're saying. You just burn yourself, right?
I'm not going to do it.
Why not? Because you don't want to get burnt, right? Okay, that's the same thing with God. If you don't want any type of punishment, from God, you should fear him for what he's going to do to you because you're doing opposite of what he's saying. It's that simple. I don't see how you don't get that. So love ain't got nothing to do with the fear part. You see what I'm saying? Because you looking at fear as something that is dangerous to you, right? In the sense of it don't care about you. When the whole time the Most High just trying to guide you on the right path, and you should fear what would happen if you don't go on that path. That makes sense? So this is why you should fear. You looking at fear in a sense of pride, like, oh, I shouldn't fear no man because we are equal men. Like, no, this is somebody that can snap of a finger, you turn into dust. This is the supreme being that we're talking about. You should fear something like that. At any moment, he can put cancer in your body. At any moment, he can just do anything to you. That's something you should fear. Only because you transgressing what he's saying, he would do that, though. Hold on, y'all. You understand what I'm saying, though?
I got you.
So why is it hard to receive in your spirit to do that, though?
It's not a thing of being hard to receive it.
Uh-huh.
The bottom line is, I'm going to do what I'm going to do.
Why would you do what you want to do?
That's just me.
Everybody should do what they want to do?
I ain't speaking on everybody. I'm speaking on me.
So I'm saying, like, what is your envision of a perfect world as far as the way people are, you know what I'm saying, managed, controlled, and stuff like that? Like, what is your solution to fix the world? Like, if you had your own little world, how would that look?
I have no answer for that. I have no answer for that.
Okay. So you just don't got the answers. It's okay, brother. It's all right. Right? Go ahead with your precept.
This is the book of Proverbs chapter 9 verse 10. It says, the fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom.
And this is what our people got to realize. You know what I'm saying? The fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. If you want wisdom, you have to fear the Most High God. And the Most High God specifically gave our people wisdom, right? He specifically gave us the blueprint on being the best nation in the earth. So this is why we should fear the Most High God, because what else makes sense? Burning your hand on the stove or not doing it? You see what I'm saying? Would you rather touch a hot plate like 10 minutes after it's on and good and heated at 350 degrees? No. So you would do the opposite of that. So this is why our people got to realize and understand the fear of the Most High, because it's going to benefit you at the end. It's only going to become detrimental to you if you don't fear the Most High God and do opposite of what he say, right? But we like, give me Romans 1 and give me that the devices. What precept you had? Go to your precept right quick first.
I had the book of Proverbs chapter 9 verse 10.
Uh-huh.
Oh, he just read it.
He just read it, right? So, Sirach 21, give me that. What verse? 11. Okay, 11. 2, go ahead.
This is the book of Sirach chapter 21 verse 2. It says, flee from sin as from the face of a serpent.
So it said, flee from sin as from the face of a serpent. If everybody see an anaconda just right here on the ground, niggas are going to be feared. They're going to be scared. They're going to flee, right? But that's how we should look at sin, right? Just like, for an example, I always like using this example. When Paul got bit by that serpent, it wasn't the serpent that he was afraid of. He understood that the Most High created that serpent. So he didn't fear the creation. He feared the creator, right? So everybody looking at the snake, and they looking at what the ability of the snake is doing, what it could do to him, right? Versus Paul thinking like, this is just a snake. I fear something bigger than this snake. So therefore, whatever this snake is about to do to me is not going to work, right? Because at the end of the day, I fear the Most High God. So that's how we should do it. If we fear the Most High God, there's no evil that's going to come upon us, man, right? But we just accept evil and live through life, man. We have given up as a people, right? Go ahead.
For if thou comest too near it, it will bite thee.
It said if you come too near sin, it's going to bite you. You don't want to get bit by a dog, do you? You don't want to get bit by a serpent, do you? But you do. You saying you don't, but in actions you do, right? Because you steady wanting to go in the way that you want to go to instead of the Most High God, right? Go ahead.
The teeth thereof are as the teeth of a lion.
It said the teeth, so it's comparing the teeth of sin to a lion, right? It said the teeth thereof is like the teeth of a lion. Read.
Slaying the souls of men.
Slaying the souls of men, right? All y'all got to go do is just look up lions and see what they'll do to any type of animal, right? It's going to devour it. And that's the same way the Most High God is going to allow your life to be if you continue in sin, bro. So we got to come out of that sin, because that's what's causing us to be low as a people, right? But our people don't have a vision, right? Our people don't have a vision. We've been docile. We've been beat. We've been traumatized to the point where we don't have any type of spirituality and any type of understanding in our brain to realize that we shouldn't accept this pain that's coming on us, right? It's like a person that's just used to being beat. He's just taking it at that point, right? Go ahead, finish that. That was it on it? Go to 11.
Verse 11, it says, he that keepeth the law of the Lord getteth the understanding thereof.
He said, he that keep the law thereof get an understanding. Give me Sirach chapter 1. If you keep the law, you will get an understanding, right? This is what we got to understand. Sirach 1 and 21, and you give me Deuteronomy 4 and 6. I think it's 1 and 21. No, it's 18, 1 and 18, so like.
This is the book of Sirach, chapter 1, verse 18. It says, the fear of the Lord is a crown of wisdom.
So it said, the fear of the Lord is a crown of wisdom, read.
Making peace and perfect health to flourish.
So it said, fearing the Lord give you peace. Do you think you got peace in your life? So you know why you don't have peace in your life, brother? Because you don't fear the Lord. Right. So there's a cause and effect. Fearing God, having peace. And not only peace, right? Do you have any health complications? Or have you ever had health complications? So you never had a broken leg, arm, nothing? Okay. Go ahead.
It says, both which are the gifts of God.
So read that again. I'm sorry. Go to making peace and perfect health.
Sirach chapter 1 verse 18, it says, the fear of the Lord is a crown of wisdom, making peace and perfect health to flourish. So
it said peace and perfect health. Would you say you have perfect health? What do you think perfect health is?
Me waking up in the morning and getting up and do what I gotta do.
Okay, so that's not perfect health. We talking about the body. You see what I'm saying? You being able to get up and push through anything you're going through. Do your knees ever hurt? Your back don't ever hurt? This nigga just invincible, bro. This is not a nigga right here. Yeah, you're finished, man.
The gifts of God.
It said both which are the gifts of God. So this is what we got to understand. We fear the Most High God. If we don't eat pork, we don't get gout. If we don't eat pork, we don't get high blood pressure. If we don't eat pork, we don't get diabetes, right? So that's perfect health. That's fearing God, doing what he said, and not receiving the punishments that's going to come after, right? Go ahead.
And it enlarges their rejoicing that love him.
Read that again.
Verse 18, it says, the fear of the Lord is a crown of wisdom, making peace and perfect health to flourish, both which are the gifts of God.
So the gifts of God is peace and perfect health. Imagine not having a bad dream. Imagine not having to wake up, not actually wanting to go to sleep. You see what I'm saying? Some nights a nigga don't want to go to sleep because he's afraid to have a bad dream. Those thoughts that's torturing in your brain, in your unconsciousness. Right? Imagine that though. Imagine just having good dreams. You see what I'm saying? We can't even envision it because every other night we having something crazy happen in our imagination. Right? So he said, that is the gift of God, having peace, having perfect health. Right? Not having to have your knees hurt, your back hurt, bones broken, skin defects and things of that sort. Right? Go ahead.
It says, and it enlarges the rejoicing that love him.
It said it enlarged the rejoicings that love him. So you're going to rejoice. This world is not rejoicing because they lost God. They lost the fear of God, right? They lost everything dealing with the Most High God and his understanding, which been gone for thousands of years, man. Right? But it's high time for us to wake up and realize that we are the real Jews. And the only way we can bring peace to this earth is if we back in rulership under the commandments of the Most High God. Right? Go ahead.
Verse 19. It says, wisdom reigneth down skill and knowledge and understanding. And exalteth them to honor that hold her fast.
So it said wisdom is going to exalt you. Wisdom is going to exalt you. Keep reading that.
It says the root of wisdom is to fear the Lord.
It said the root of wisdom, the root of having understanding is to fear the Most High God. Right? You're not going to be redirected in the wrong ways when you have wisdom. Right? And then the source of it is the fear of the Most High. Read.
And the branches thereof are long life.
So it said the branches. So imagine wisdom being a tree, and then the branches is long life. We think living to 80 years old is a long life now. When in the Bible, we live 900 plus years. Right? We went from living 900 plus years to only living to 70. Right? Making it to 60. So it's crazy how we think because 1 out of 100 people is making it to the age of 80, which is, I don't even know if that's a true statistic. I think I definitely underestimated that one, right? But only these certain amount of people making it to 80, we think that is something, right? That is nothing, man. Go ahead.
It says, the fear of the Lord driveth away sin. And where is it present, it turneth away wrath. So
if you have the fear of the Lord, it drives away sins and it prevents wrath from coming into your life. It prevents non-peaceful thoughts, right? If we only fear the Lord. You got a precept holding? Go ahead.
Yeah.
Stay right there.
The book of Psalms, chapter 119, 104, through thy precepts I get understanding. Therefore I hate every false way.
So our people love the false way now, though. We comfortable with the false way. We'll know the truth and still just follow where we're going, man. We don't never want to correct the steps in which we're doing wrong because we're comfortable, right? Our people too complacent and they don't have the rulership mentality. So they're just comfortable with going home, cooking their pork in the crock pot and just waking up, walking on the belt line and being oppressed and doing the same thing again the next day. Right? Go ahead.
It says, a furious man cannot be justified. For the sway of his fury shall be his destruction. A patient man will bear for a time, and afterward joy shall spring up unto him.
And that's what's wrong with the majority of this generation that this brother right here is from. They wasn't patient, right? They didn't have any patience. They didn't have any faith, right? So they just gave up. You said, what about you?
I said, put it on me.
Yeah, well, yeah, it is. It's basically on y'all, right? It ain't nothing that we can just come to you for. Nothing that we can look up to you. Like, I can't look up to you. I can't do nothing, man. Right? It took for a young man to come and, tell me what's going on. right? But that's how you know that the Spirit of the Most High dwells in who He wants, right? Go ahead.
It says, he will hide his words for a time, and the lips of many shall declare.
Skip that, go to 27.
Okay, verse 27, it says, for the fear of the Lord is wisdom and instruction, and faith and meekness are his delight.
So our people hate being instructed, right? They feel like rules make them less of a man. They feel like somebody telling them what to do is going to make them less of a person, right? But y'all still following and conforming to every way that the white man wants you to conform to. He wants you to eat pork, right? He wants you to just be weak and on the belt line, not doing nothing. That's what he wants you to do. You're following everything this man wants you to do, right? Y'all got to understand the power of psychology. The expert right here who want to tell you, right? Who want to tell you he's a cold psychologist. He told the lady everything honestly up front and use a method in which she stayed there and still liked the man. But the whole time he telling her, you're an evil. The reason why you're in my face right now is because we want you to look stupid on camera. That's what you told her, right? And she still didn't understand it. But this is the same thing with black people. Y'all don't understand it. You think you're free. You think you're just walking up freely, waking up and doing whatever you want to do. But the whole time you just conforming to the white man's plan. Being docile, not being a benefit to your people. They psychologically beat your ass, and now you think you have some type of liberation. But you have to pay taxes. You went to the store today? You bought something? Not yet, but you finna go in there and pay hella taxes to these people. The brother just read in Baruch that we subject to payment. All of this is coming out of the Bible that we telling you how your life will be, and this was written thousands of years ago, right? Thousands of years ago, these words were in this book, and it's now translated to a language that you can understand due to the oppression that you've been going through, right, and your people. And the whole time, y'all can't understand that this is the Most High God speaking through the men of the Lord. Right? Just talking right over his head, bro. Go ahead.
This is the book of Sirach, chapter 32 and 17. A sinful man will not be reproved.
But a sinful man would not be reproved. There's no correcting a sinful man. So we just got to leave them where they stand. Right? Most High going to take care of that at the end of the day, right? He just got to taste it. He just got to get what he asking for at the end of the day, which is death by pain, unless you repent. Go ahead.
This is the book of Hosea chapter 7 verse 9. It says, strangers have devoured his strength, and he knoweth it not.
It say what?
Strangers have devoured his strength, and he knoweth it not.
So it said, strangers have devoured his strength, and he don't even know it. You don't even understand what these people are doing to you. Right. You just thinking you free, you doing what you want to do, man. Like, you know, my health good because I can get up and walk around and stuff like that. Right. You don't know you could be doing so many miracles that Christ had even himself have done. Right. You don't even understand the power of physics and anti-physics, right? It's certain things you can do that you couldn't even imagine, man. Right. 4 of us could pick up a 600-pound man because of the wisdom that you can, you know what I'm saying, obtain due to the Most High giving it to you. Right. Through the tribulation of fearing him, and et cetera, right? Go ahead.
It says, yeah, gray hairs are here and there upon him, yet he knoweth not.
It said gray what?
Gray hairs are here and upon him, yet he knoweth not.
So you got the gray hairs, you an elder, but you know, it ain't nothing that we can learn from. Right? But if we wanted to go learn how to cook a nice pork meal, we probably can learn. But we don't want to learn it, right? Go ahead.
It says, and the pride of Israel testifieth to his face, and they do not return to the Lord their God.
So it said the pride of Israel returning to his face. This was referring to the northern kingdom. They refused to come back to the Most High God. They continued in their idolatrous ways, bro. And that's for the whole nation. This is why Judah had to get punished worse, right? Because at the end, these people did just as bad as the northern kingdom by not following the ways of the Most High God and allowing these heathens to influence them every step of the way. Go ahead. Come on. Go ahead. This is not, we're not going to do this on camera. You might as well read. Yeah, go ahead.
You said so about 19.
22. There you go.
All right. This is the book of Sirach, chapter 19, verse 22. It says, the knowledge of wickedness is not wisdom.
It said the knowledge of wickedness is not wisdom, man. Right, go ahead.
Neither at any time the counsel of sinners prudence.
So if you look at any nation that's ruling the earth, which is really the Jewish man, which is a white race, you got the Russians, which is a white race, you know what I'm saying? You got different European powers, etc. Most High sparked his ass. Every time, I'm telling you, people, the Most High sparked his ass, right? What are you talking about? Every time these people come right here, the Most High just spark them, man. It's time for y'all to stop and listen to the Most High God, bro. Now he's sore as hell with 2 swords on his back because he don't want to stop and listen to God, right? Go ahead.
It's the book of Jeremiah, chapter 50, verse 6. My people have been lost sheep.
It said what?
My people have been lost sheep.
But the Most High put all of these men every week, week in and week out, right in front of you, just so you won't be lost no more, right? He said, my people are lost sheep, read.
Their shepherds have caused them to go astray.
So our leaders have caused us to go astray.
First one, then I'm coming back to the second one. The kingdom is just for us. It's real. The kingdom is just for us. It's real. These nations ain't nothing like us. It's real. These nations ain't nothing like us. Salt of the earth. Since birth from first I'll be the salt of the earth. God word, we the church, we be the salt of the earth. God first and worst, I'm still a salt of the earth. We the salt of the earth. Creme de la creme. Dropping jewels and gems in the street like Tim's. We ain't none of them. Been putting in work, you check my film. Mindset used to be stuck on the M. Mindset don't flip, now it's stuck on him. Jewish me, won't fuck with them. If it ain't black and brown, we ain't fucking with them. On your own. Build power base up, get all T, son, tell them watch the throne. For the generation come, niggas switch things up. Just hit a Christian with $1 million.